Hey survivors, so I've been asked to do this video many times and finally I broke down and said I'd do it. Everyone keeps asking what's coming up in Alpha 16. Now this is available on the 7 Days to Die forums, you just gotta look it up. But we'll go over it pretty quickly and what we should expect in the next update and what we might miss out on. Now first of all, they've promised some spawn and AI improvements, create a new volume-based sleeper system and sleeper helper points. I'm not entirely sure what the sleeper helper points is. I think that's where he was like actually setting them down and you can have them spawn there. The volume-based sleeper system would be based on like the amount of noise you're making. If you make noise, then you wake up the sleeper, right? I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. They do promise a breadcrumb system, so that should be interesting to see the zombies try to track their way to you. If you ran up a ladder or you ran up a ramp and jumped over into your base, they'll know that and they'll go that way. That should be interesting to see as well too. They're going to unify the spawning, so the Blood Moon, Dynamic, and Sleeper spawns all use partying and dynamic hard difficulty game settings. So what that means is now the spawning around you and in your area depends on your level. So you won't spawn in and have like 20 zombies all in the same area or like right away. Or when you walk through a city, I believe that affects POI spawns as well. So it'll kind of act like the Blood Moon Horn. Now, that's probably not exciting for a lot of people, but we will be able to mod the game eventually and change everything we want to anyways. So these are all just kind of different balance changes every alpha, and it'll be interesting to see what happens to the game when they do this. Now, this is exciting. Electricity. You can craft generators, solar panels, or use battery banks to power electrical devices. So you'll have electricity in the game. We'll have like a Fallout 4 style. Place a post, attach electrical wire to it. Not entirely sure what you use to make the wires and stuff. That'll be interesting as well too. They have new power traps that chop zombies, burn them, and they say more. So it'll be interesting to see what's coming up. Now you can run wire from power sources to switches, relays, pressure plates, and appliances. So there'll be fridges in the game, and that I assume will keep your food fresh for longer. Or maybe have like a stove that you can use as a fire pit. I'm not entirely sure. The appliances thing is kind of cool if if that actually makes it into Alpha 16. And the tool you'll use is a wire tool that you can attach and cut wire with. So it's just basically a tool that you hold in your hand. The other exciting thing I'm looking forward to as well is the zipline system. Basically, that's self-explanatory. You put a zipline on one end, zipline to the other, and then you can use them to go back and forth. I'm not sure if that's going to hit Alpha 16. I haven't really heard anything on it, so we'll cross our fingers and hope it does. Lockpicking. I do believe I've heard of lockpicking since Alpha 13. They keep talking about it, but it's never happened, and they added a note to it that it might slip to Alpha 17, which most likely I do believe it will. But what that'll do is allow players to pick locks to unlock doors and safes. So instead of having to bash them open, you can pick a lock instead, which is good if you have like really low level, or I don't know, you'd have to learn it as a skill, I guess. Who knows? It'd be interesting to see how they apply that. They'll probably end up actually scrapping it, I think. Blocks and buildings, they're adding in a jail cell door, which is really cool. It slides back and forth. It's literally a jail cell, like the ones you see in the jail POIs, but the door is actually open and close. So that's an improvement on that. Iron bar block with outside, center, and inside edge rotations. So now when you go place the iron bars down, it won't be, you can select the bottom or the middle or the top instead of just having the middle. Because it's always awkward having that stupid thing sit like right in the middle of the block unless you're making some window or something. If you want it to be nice and level to the surface, you can make the iron bars level now. And that's pretty cool. We have outside corner stairs. Those are neat. Just like the one, just blocks that are like quarter rounds, I guess, or quarter squares. I don't even know what to call them. But anyways, it's nice to see them completing that. Feature that allows players to easily select shape for any particular block type. We did see a preview of this, and it looked neat. So you put down basically one frame, and then you can take that frame and change it into the one you want. It can be or like a ramp, or a corner, or an inside corner, or outside corner, any of those. But it does have the note it might slip to Alpha 17, which I am thinking it is because I haven't heard anything about it in a while. And that's a pretty big change to the building block system. Unified block system that which allows for 24 rotations. That's pretty significant because a lot of the blocks have a lot of rotation limits. The wedge block, the bigger wedge block, that one doesn't rotate in a lot of positions, and it kind of sucks because it's a nice block to use. But that would be nice to have that in the proper rotations. And texture alignment between blocks. So that means you won't get like an odd texture difference. It won't get stretched or moved funny on like sides, especially if you're using triangles and whatnot. So it'll be easier to see details. It'll look more realistic. It won't. They'll blend into each other a lot better. We got a painting tool that allow for multiple textures and colors for greater building variety. It'll be interesting to see how they apply the paint mechanic. I've seen it in a couple of videos, but I'm really curious on what it takes to make the paint. I'm really hoping there's a paint mixer they add in that has a high heat map. Make it worth it, right? If you're going to be painting, you're going to have to take on some screamers. That'd be cool. What else we got here? Ah, yes, the bulletproof glass. That's one I'm actually personally looking forward to. Glass that can take a beating. Because I use a lot of glass in my builds, and I can't do it on the lower parts because the zombies would destroy it easy. And glass, well, it isn't that cheap. It's not that great or easy to make either. Rain gutters. So basically, it's just a detail for the homes that go along the edges. Just some random stuff Joel did early in the after Alpha 15. Yeah, they started working on Alpha 16 and making videos right away after that. So for items, traps, and weapons, we got the flamethrower trap. That's pretty freaking cool. We got the arrow trap, Molotov cocktail, bow progression. So the whole bow stuff is changing. That'll be interesting to see as well. And this one too. And apparently this was in the Kickstarter. Auto turrets. So we've seen a preview in his latest video about auto turrets. And they look pretty crazy. They seem to rapid fire pretty damn fast. So they'd be expensive on bullets, I think. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what he does with the development. But personally, I think with the hordes the way they are, it'd be a little overkill at the moment. So I would either mod them out or not use them. But it'll be interesting to see the implementation, that's for sure. And blueprint feature. And just a warning on this one as well too, guys. This one says it may slip to Alpha 17. It probably will actually, because I don't see it working in the game quite yet until they change the blocks. Because this would go with the changing block shapes for sure. We got build pre-designed structures using a blueprint. So if you guys have ever played any voxelized game that shares blueprints, it's basically a house and then you got to get all the materials together and you can build it. But it shows you how to do it. It's pretty cool. And then eventual workshop support for sharing. That would be neat to see them finally starting to open up workshop stuff. More character options. These extend to UMA zombies as well. Wow, that must have been written a while ago because they're cutting the UMA zombies out, and I think they're just using it for a couple. I know he's keeping it in the game a little bit, but they did cause a lot of lag, and they're a big performance issue. They are replacing bear, steak, and pig. I think that's what they're using the UMA for. Yes, that must be what they're using the UMA for. Bears, steak, and pig. These assets were actually generic Unity assets that any game can access on the Unity platform. And they wanted to replace them, so they're using the UMA to do that. Replace the Hornet with a zombie vulture. That's going to be neat to see. I can't wait to see the zombie vulture. That's something everyone forgets about. Snakes to desert and plains, so now you're going to have snakes going around. You think a friggin' chicken's hard to hit? Now you got that snake. It looks pretty good too. What else we got? Oh yes, wolves to appropriate areas. Haven't heard anything on this one in a long time, but it'll be neat to see wolves in the game as well. Potatoes and other 2D card crops need real 3D versions. So the crops, if you look straight down at it, it literally looks like two pieces of paper. They're going to change that and make it look more 3D. And they're going to be replacing the menus. The menus are going to be completely changing in Alpha 16. Updated, smoother flowing ones, whatever that means. It'll be neat to see though, because those menus do feel a little old. Clean up old options, so I guess they have some back-end stuff to do. Add new dead is dead mode. That's kind of cool, but it would be interesting to see, because that just sounds like to me when the game ends, that's it, you can't access your save anymore. But I mean, you could basically do that now if you wanted to. What I really wanted to see them do is add horde mode back in. Horde mode was sick. If you guys have never seen Horde mode, it's old. They took it out a long time ago. but it's pretty sick. Go look up a video on it, Horde Mode, 7 Days to Die. You'll find some real old videos, 2, 3, 4 years old. Add the zombies run during the day and walk at night option. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can flip it around so zombies run during the day and only walk at night. Mix it up a bit. New unified Perlin worm cave system. Wow, that was a little bit of a tongue twister. Caves in random world gen in Navisgane will be ruled by one system. Okay, so they won't be cave POIs and like little weird wormholes. There will be worm-like caves randomly generated. Oh, okay, I take that back. They will have fingers of ore so that you can find and mine out as you explore them. Okay, that's interesting to see. I haven't actually seen that, or if I did, I don't remember it in any of the preview videos. But it'll be pretty cool to see. Because the mine system in 7 Days to Die kind of sucks at the moment. There's not many of them. I miss the old Alpha 14 mine system. If you guys watch my PS4 Let's Play, it has that mine system in it, and it's much bigger. This one, it's kind of like little weird worm tunnels. If they make them bigger and actually have stuff in them, that would be cool. So they're bringing back the fat Hawaiian shirt zombie. If you guys actually go and watch the Horde mode, that's actually in it. They have feral versions of every zombie that have more HP, hit harder, and run during the day. So it'd be nice to also see some variety of zombies as well, too. Because honestly, at this point, there's like 10 different ones, and it gets quite boring. Radioactive zombies that heal over time. I seen that in a recent video as well too, and that looked pretty damn cool. So they're adding some more special zombies in, some more special effects. It's neat to see that done. World generation. Yes, this is my last, but my favorite, because the random world to me is incredibly boring after you run through a couple cities. It's pretty much the same thing. Distant terrain 2.0 for featuring distant POIs. That one's pretty cool because now you can see cities in the distance. Not just the roads, but the cities as well. They won't be real time. If you go and destroy that city, it'll still look like the city's there from the distance, but at least it gives you that illusion that you're looking at an active city, right? It'll be something in the distance. What do we else we have here? The socket system for POIs and cities that match more naturally with the terrain. You know how the game, when it generates a city in, you get those huge ass cliffs and mountains at the edge when it like generates in between mountains? What they've done is they've made random world gen so that it pretty much generates a landscape first and then tries to generate the city within it, so you don't just get a box shaped city, which is actually really neat. I'm looking forward to that one as well too. City districts are for more organic city layouts with industrial, commercial, and residential zoning. So the cities won't just be a mashup of just random crap now. There'll be commercials where all the stores are, industrial with like your pump houses and all that crap. And I think I've seen a few new POIs as well too. They're slipping a few more of those in. It's neat to see that as well. What else we got? Distant POIs, yes, I already explained that one. Enhanced World Previewer using the new LOD models of POIs. Okay, so now when you do generate a world, or you use a world previewer and you generate a world, it'll show the actual buildings in it as well too. That's actually pretty neat, and I didn't know that until I read that last line. I read this a couple times, but until I got to that last line, that's actually pretty surprising. But anyways, guys, this was a little long-winded, but I just wanted to catch up with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to help me out, share the video and go on to the next person's video. Support your next content creator as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Back up those game saves. Stay classy. Hit it, you bunch of dirty hippies.